Ever since I was little, playing games is one of my most favorite pastimes. Video games, board games, playground games, anything that looks fun, well, I'm game. However, if we are to consider the worldly opinions of today's generation, well, as Christians, let's not jump straight into the fray and play along with the flow, per se. Discernment is heavily needed in today's timeline, so we better be careful. But being careful doesn't include the thing that I call religious arrogance. Remember, Christ called us to serve others, to be the salt and the light of the world. Raising ourselves above others just because we believe in Christ is never a part of his divine instruction. In fact, it's the total opposite. Why, if you think that it's one of Christianity's main purposes, that is to elevate yourself above others, then I'm afraid that you gotta do an even deeper Bible study before you could even add another taint to Christianity as a whole. Anyway, games, right? Probably one of the best things that's ever invented. It could sharpen one's mind. It could be used to kill time. It could start friendships. It could strengthen bonds. Heck, it could even break the said bonds due to a misunderstanding. But, yes, another but. Before conducting the decision to pull out your credit card to pay for a game that managed to catch your eye, I want you to step back first and think. Why did they create this game? What's the story behind it? What or who did the producers think about as they designed the characters? After you've successfully collected the answers for those questions, I want you to ask yourself next if they align with your values or not. If they do, then go ahead. If not, well, it's your choice. Will your choice be a yes, or will it be a no? Think carefully. Meh. Hello everyone! It's Yuri again. Welcome back to another video! For those who are new here, then hello, I'm Yuri. It's a pleasure to meet you all. As what you've noticed, I just did a whole wise old man of the forest kind of stunt earlier. You might be asking why I did that, so let me tell you a secret. I was once a so-called smart aleck whenever games entered the picture. The type of player who always acts like they know everything just for the sake of fitting in. I'm sorry. Other than that, the game that I chose for today's video, as per Pep3998's request, I hope I pronounced it right, is none other than Warhammer 40,000, a board game that's produced by an English designer named Rick Priestley back in the 1980s. To be honest, I have absolutely zero knowledge about this game, so I'm sorry in advance if I said something wrong about it. At first, I thought that this game is, well, a video game. But after doing my research, I eventually came to realization that this game isn't a video game and is, well, in fact, a miniature war game.
Encourage success on both sides, commiserate when you obliterate your opponent's newly painted unit, but most importantly, lose yourself in the immersion of the game and the enjoyment of a shared experience with your friends.
Miniature war game? What's a miniature war game? Think of a board game. Let's say, chess. If you know what chess is, then you'll know that it's got 32 pieces. The main objective of chess is to eat the opponent's pieces until they either surrender to your chess army or you successfully corner their king piece into a nasty checkmate. Let's now replace the simple wooden pieces with plastic figures. Plastic figures that were molded after certain characters from movies and books. Let's also replace the simple wooden board with a fancier board that's decorated with fake grass and castles and the like. Let's not forget to throw in the fancy dice too. On second thought, let's just see miniature war games as a fancy medieval version of Monopoly. Yeah, that'll work. Now that you see the gist of it, let's now look at it through a Christian's point of view. The players of Warhammer 40,000 obviously need strategy to win, just like what we all need whenever we sit down with friends and family as we play any kind of tabletop game. Without strategy, we'll obviously end up carelessly moving our pieces about the board, which would ultimately lead to our tabletop game army's downfall. Let's then replace strategy with faith and obedience to the Lord. Obeying the Lord means listening to His word, His divine instructions. Having faith in the Lord means trusting in the Lord's divine protection and provision, no matter how ugly things might become on our end. Remember, in a tabletop game, if we won't think of a proper strategy to move the pieces, then we will unfortunately suffer the awful consequence: losing. On the other hand, if we are to carefully think of a strategic moveset before moving the pieces, then we'll have a 95% chance of turning the game to our favor and winning. In life, if we are to keep still despite the never-ending troubles that life throws at us, then we will be filled with God's peace. Once filled with God's peace, His divine voice will be heard. And once we hear His divine voice, His divine instruction will be given. And just like the mini army of ours within a strategic game of Warhammer 40,000, victory will eventually be ours. Alright, let's now jump to the characters. Some of them were named after the gods of the pagan world, such as Horus and Artemis. Some of them were named after the demons found written about in the Lesser Key of Solomon, such as Ammon and Belial. To be completely honest, if I were ever to mention any of those names in front of my late Catholic grandma, then I'm 100% sure that I'm gonna receive an nasty Asian style beating, with a stick and a leather belt and all. Why? Well, according to some of the elderly Christians that I've heard about, names have power. Uttering a demon's name, according to their beliefs, is more than enough to give it the power that it needed to either possess you or ruin your life. Behold, I have given you authority to trample on snakes and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy. Nothing shall hurt you. You are a hiding place for me. You preserve me from trouble. You surround me with shouts of deliverance. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. You who dwell on the shelter of the Most High, who abide in the shade of the Almighty, say to the Lord, my refuge and fortress, my God in whom I trust. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. Yes, I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. No weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment thou shalt condemn. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. So, with those points in mind, the much-awaited question would then eventually arise. Can I play Warhammer 40,000 as a Christian? Well, as a Christian myself, my answer to that is yes. Yes, we can play the game. As long as you don't turn the game into an idol, my friend. God allowed us to make games because He knew that it'll help us mentally, that it'll enhance our strategic mindset, that it'll lessen the stress that we've unfortunately accumulated because of school or work. But at the same time, let's not forget the fact that we must be wary about everything that the world throws at us. Before jumping at conclusions, let's first step back and think. Is this game making fun of my beliefs? Does this game have any characters or areas or lines that clash against my beliefs? Is this game full of blasphemy? Is this game leading me away from the Lord? If one or some of those questions answer is, well, yes, then you know what to do, my sibling in Christ.
That's it, I'm out of here.
Alright, that's all for today. Always remember to make time for God. Be it a minute, a few minutes, an hour, or a few hours. Stay safe, God bless, hit the like button, and please, subscribe.